Hi guys, so Proverbs 13:12 says this: hope deferred makes the heart sick, a longing fulfilled is a tree of life. And one of the things that I often reflect on is that in my own walk, I have had moments in my life, choices, crossroads that I've gotten to where I have, just out of a desperation to get things right, I have completely missed out the part about getting it right and actually just focused on desperation and waiting and longing. And that has meant that I have been put in a position where I'm no longer actually aligning my actions with my desires. And I'll explain to you what that means. The easiest example I can use, and one of the most recent ones, is in a job that I was in which I was desperate to get out of. I felt like I had accomplished my purpose there. God had led me to such a wonderful opportunity. I'd had the amazing opportunity of working with so many different people, and I just felt like it was time to let go and just move on. Now, I had applied for jobs left, right and centre, naturally kind of considering, roles that I would enjoy, companies I would enjoy working for. But in my desperation to get it right in terms of actually moving on to bigger and better, the weight of waiting kind of started to get me down. It started to weigh me down really, really heavily. And I got to the point where I was just willing to take anything that came my way if it would get me out of where I was in my current role. And very often we reach point in our lives where we're so desperate to get out of a situation, we're so desperate to move on to something better, that we just unguard our hearts, forget the part about getting it right, and just become desperate to get it. So I think that's an area where I'm not afraid necessarily, but I am more cautious, because again, the Bible talks about guarding your heart with all diligence. And that's an area where I feel like in waiting, when it starts to weigh down, you can relax a little bit, just in terms of maybe if I compromise in this area, I might get what I want. And that's where unbelief starts to creep in, that's where doubt starts to kill some of those desires. So my encouragement to you is, if you're at a period in your life where you've reached the point of desperation, your hope is being deferred, it is not lost. Hope deferred does not mean hope is lost. Hope deferred simply means you have to wait. It just means that maybe the goalpost, the finish line has moved just a little bit. It's your sign to keep trusting God, because the second part of that passage says, a longing fulfilled is a tree of life. And God never ever starts what he will not finish. So keep trusting, keep your faith alive, keep the hope alive. All right. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye.